Good morning and welcome to Cindy's Kitchen. So glad that you're here. We are a cooking community. We have fun, we cook, we talk, we chitty chat. We're on for about 30-45 minutes. If you're new, welcome. Tell us where you're from, say hello. We're welcoming you to our conversation. If you don't want to sit here and listen to all this, please head over to our YouTube channel. We usually have an edited version. And of course, if you're watching the replay, please make sure you do #replay. Good to see everybody this morning. Let's start our welcome and our good morning with our cup of coffee. I see that Margaret's here and Cheryline, Brenda, Mary Beth, Julie. Brenda, good morning. Oh, Joanne's walked in the room. Good to see everybody. Good morning, Mary Beth. I know, you know the whole wrinkle thing. Maybe I need bangs again. Oh, Ann and Katrina are here. Sherline, good morning. Hello, Sunshine Joanne. Margaret's here from Illinois. Julie's here from Northwest Houston. Katrina's here. Good to see everybody. I'm thinking about getting, it took me so long to not have bangs. And then now the wrinkly thing is bothering me. Good morning, Katrina. Oh, Judy and Pat are here. Pat, I hope you're feeling better. Good morning, Heather. Now, you felt bad about making fun of my garbage stock, didn't you? My garbage soup. Hey, Joan, getting ready for below zero weather. Oh, Joan. Good morning, Ann. I hate to tell you that it's going to be 70 degrees here in Houston. Sun is shining. It is beautiful. Yep, Judy, good morning. Pat's watching. It's good to see everybody. Oh, Dorada's on. Hello. No lurking. That's right, like Joanne. Everybody say hello and good morning so that we can say hello to you. Hi, Nina. Hi, Dorada. Oh, Lydia's here. Gail's here. Barbara's here. It's going to be snowy in Chicagoland, Gail. Wow. Yes, Rebecca told me that it's supposed to be cold, snowy, and like 45-mile-an-hour winds for tonight and tomorrow. That's scary. That is just scary. I know, right? But you can make good stuff. All right, are we ready to get started? I have to show you my cup. Oh, Lisa and Jessica are here. Thank you, Pat. Hi from Oklahoma. Pat is a dear friend from Oklahoma. Known him forever. Good morning, Beverly from North Carolina. Vicky's on. You're working on your taxes. Oh, that's no good. Almost missed you. Well, listening to Christian music, I'll have to sing a Christian song. I'll have to think of one. Hold on. All right, let's look. Do you like my mug this morning? Look how pretty that is. All the little flowers. That just made me happy. And for those of you, or it's really cold where you are, maybe that'll make you feel better. A little color for your day. And there's Anita. All right, so let's do our coffee clinks, our cheers. Raise your cup. Cheers. Last sip. Let's get started. Today on Cindy's Kitchen, this is what we're going to make. How many times, now I don't know about you, but at my grocery store, they have pork loin on sale all the time. Now, remember we've talked the difference between pork loin and pork tenderloin. A pork loin is bigger and it's from a different part, and the pork tenderloin is a thinner cut. It cooks faster, the tenderloin. It is more tender, hence the name, than a pork loin. But tenderloins are rarely on sale. Pork loins are. And I know you probably have 8,000 recipes for the pork loin, but I was thinking when I was looking at it, it's a big thing, right? Here, let me show you the pork loin. This is the pork loin that I bought, okay? So it's pretty big. See, bigger than my head. It's pretty big. And thank you, Lisa. I love that coffee mug too. And if you're cooking for one or two, that's a lot of pork. We're going to fix that, Lydia. Yes, Kroger always has them on sale. And so what do you do? What do you do, right? Good morning, Linda Sue. Hi, Lori. So if you're only cooking for one or two, I'm going to give you some ideas. And we're going to start it with this one pork loin. Now I patted it dry, and but I saved the package. I washed it out because I wanted you to see that this was originally $13.21. And then I got it on sale for $5.59. I saved $7.62. You see that? So $5.59. There you go, Gail. We're going to do some of that. All right. So now I know that some of you are going to get all wonky about me touching the meat. So I got some rubber gloves. I'm going to try it, but, you know, we'll see how this goes. And that way, nobody will get all mad at me. Okay, there we go. For our first recipe, it is a good price. Hello, Loisanne. For our first recipe, I'm only going to put it on one hand. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to tilt you down because I'm going to put this on the cutting board, okay? So here you can see it's on my cutting board. Usually, you have, and there's a layer of fat on the back. Can you see the layer of fat? You can trim that off. All you have to do is kind of lift it up, take your knife, and trim that way. And you can trim all that off if you so desire. Although, it's pretty good. I'm just saying. And quite frankly, if you're making stock, this is a good thing to throw in the pot too. You can touch it, it's your meat. I know, but inevitably somebody will say, she touched the meat. So anyway, all right. So when I look at this, you would think it's all the same, but I noticed that this end tends to be a little wider than the other end. So I'm going to start on the wide end, okay? And I'm going to cut this in thirds. And so I'm never good at the whole third thing, so I'm going to kind of guesstimate that this is about a third, okay? So, and I'm using a serrated knife, just so you can see, just a little easier to cut the meat. Okay, I'm going to put our other 2/3 back on the plate. So now I have a really nice size for 2 people, or even 3 maybe, right? A nice sized pork loin. I'm going to leave the fat on this because this is a pork loin, and I'm not taking off the fat on the pork loin. You can, but I'm not going to. So there we go. Now we're going to have something to cook this in, and so here we go. I'm going to make you chuckle, but those of you who have Polish pottery, do you have one of these? Look at this. It's called a cake box. I mean, that's the way it said. And as a general rule, this sits on my counter, and I keep my receipts in it. But I'm going to use it to bake in today, all right? Because it's a perfect size, and it has a lid, okay? So, ta and da, this is what the inside looks like, right? So it's a perfect little size for me. The first thing I'm going to do in this is because anytime I cook meat, I always like to have a bed of onions on the bottom, and that way I feel like the meat's not directly touching the plate, the platter, you know, so that it's that direct heat, and it has a little buffer. All right, so I've just sliced up some onions, and I'm going to put a layer of onions on the bottom. You don't have to put too terribly many, but it's going to give us some good flavor, and it's going to make a little buffer down there. All right? Now I'm going to take my pork loin. I'm going to go ahead and season. Hey, Tommy. Hey, Susan. I'm going to go ahead and season with salt and pepper, okay? Both sides. Salt and some pepper. Pepper for your poppycock. All right. Now, I like to be inventive. Oh, well, tell Jess hi, Pat. Thanks for watching. All right, so just salt and pepper on there, and it's into my little, look at that. Look how cute that is. Perfect size, okay? Who would have thunk it, right? Okay, now I'm taking this thing off. Sorry, you germy people, but I gotta take it off. All right, so there we go. What are we putting in here? I'm gonna show you what we're gonna put in here. We are going to get our barbecue sauce. And this is going to freak you out. I know it's going to freak you out. You know what? I need a bigger bowl. Hold on. We need a bigger boat. We need a bigger boat. Hold on a second. Okay. I probably don't need one that's this big, but I got a bigger bowl. Okay. Hey, Jennifer. Good to see you. All right. So I got a bigger bowl. Here's what I did. I took a can of sliced peaches. A can of sliced peaches. I drained it and put it in the food processor and pureed it, okay? I pureed the peaches. Now, if you don't mind some chunks, you could use your potato masher and go to town. Wholly up to you. I was lazy. In we go. And so that gives us, pretty bowl, huh? What that gives us is this beautiful kind of peach puree looking thing. To that, I'm gonna add a cup of barbecue sauce. You can make homemade barbecue sauce. You can pick whichever is your favorite. This is KC Masterpiece. But you know, I don't make any money. I don't work for anybody. I don't get any, you know, when I show you something, I don't get money for that. So there we go. All right, so about a cup of barbecue sauce, your favorite. You could use a store-bought brand, that's fine, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna use these, and we're gonna give it a stir, okay? Peaches that have been pureed, Lois Ann, I know, right? And barbecue sauce. Who would have thought? But peaches, because they're sweet, go really well with pork. Peaches do, pineapple does, apple does. Okay, there we go. Look at that beautifulness, right? Peaches and barbecue sauce. Now I'm gonna pour this into my cake pan, my cake box, whatever. If you use something either with a lid or you're gonna cover it with foil, okay? Sweet Baby Ray's is good too. All right, so I'm gonna pour this on top. La, la, la. You knew it was coming, right? The la, la, la. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And I covered it, look, it covered it all the way, okay? Look how beautiful that is. I did drain the peaches, yes. I drained the peaches, and then I put them in a food processor, pureed them, and mixed them together. Peaches and pork, yum, right? It is kind of a southern dish, I do suppose. And to that, we're gonna put the lid on it, and then we're gonna put it in a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes to an hour. This is a very small one, so I figure 45 minutes is probably okay. I know that some of you are gonna say, oh, did you get the meat thermometer? And the answer is no. But, you know, certainly do that, be safe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's in the oven, that's dish one. Dish one, and we've only been 5 minutes. How fast was that? Now, it's gonna cook, and obviously we're not gonna be able to taste it on this show, but we got the first dish done. Second dish. So that is my peachy barbecue pork loin. Done. All right, our second dish. Our second dish, we're gonna use the second half of our pork loin, okay? But here's what we need. This is what I have. This is a grill pan. It's gonna, I mean, the stuff has come off. I probably need a new one. But anyway, we used to take this camping all the time because you can use this and it's got a grill on one side, you know, the grill things, and then it's got a griddle on the other. So we could do eggs and pancakes and, you know, bacon for breakfast, and then at night, it will be very moist. And then you can grill your meat or whatever on this side. Now, this is what I'm using today. And it's easy for me because I have a gas stove, right? And so that's one of the reasons I love this. I'm gonna put this on top of the gas stove. You might wanna give it a little spray, I already did, of cooking oil. Now let's say you don't have one of those. You could they always sell pans. So this is a nice size square pan that has the bumps. And so you can use this as a grill pan as well on your stove. And that way you kind of get the grill. So many of you are living in areas right now where the snow is everywhere and it's freezing. So I figured you didn't want to go outside into the snow and grill. So this is what we get. Hey Deb, hey Jacqueline. All right, so we're gonna take the other half. Do I want to put the glove on again? Okay, I got a different glove. I threw the other one away. One more time. And then the last time, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, one more glove. Here we go. Running late, it's okay. You missed the peach pork tenderloin. You have that same grill pan? All right, so remember what we have left, right? We have 2/3 left of our pork loin. So now I'm gonna cut pork chops. Pork chops. All right, so cut them however you want. I go on the thin side. because then you can put them on for 2 minutes on each side and you're done. Done, baby, done. All right, so that's about, you could do anywhere between a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. If you go any thicker than that, really that's not a good grill size, that's more of a oven size, right? Okay, so again, I'm using my serrated knife. All right, so there's my, look at that, serrated knife. There we go. That's how thin it is. All right, so 1, 2, and really, I could probably get 6 out of here. We'll see. 3, 4, I will do 6. Because they're thin, and boys like big ones, right? You can stuff it when it's thicker. Yes, you can. But then if I stuff meat, then I want to bake it. And I'm grilling, so there we go. All right, so now we have 1/3 of our pork left. And we have 6 thin pork chops, all right? I'm gonna lay these out on here on my cutting board, and I'm just gonna salt and pepper. That's it. Just a little salt and pepper on both sides. See how easy this is? I'm making you hungry. That's the good thing. All right, so I know that you guys have your go-tos with a pork loin. So tell me, when you buy a pork loin, what is your go-to recipe? Okay, I'm gonna season the other side as well. So what is, like, the pork loin is on sale, and you go ahead and get it because it's a great sale. What is your go-to recipe? That's what I wanna know. All right, this is heating up and it's getting scorching hot. Scorching hot, I tell you. I partially freeze before I slice. Yes, it is much easier to slice when it's freezing, okay? All right, I'm gonna turn it down just a wee tad because I got smoke going, right? Woo, did you hear it? Woo! On the grill we go. You can see the grill, I think. I'll turn the camera in just a second if you cannot. I've also sliced some more onions, so I'm gonna put those on here. And then the last thing I'm gonna do, I've got an apple that I cored. Hello, are you there? I'm going to, let me wipe this off a second. Let me get the wet one. Wipe it off. All right, different knife. Don't make it, but barbecue roast, stuffed pork chops, garlic herb, yes. All right, so I'm gonna do fairly thin slices of apple, and I'm gonna grill these as well, okay? Because we did peach for the other one, and now we're gonna do apple. I know, right? Okay, go to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm not gonna put anything on these. Cook in the slow cooker. Yes, that's good too. So, let me I'm gonna shove the onions over there. I'm gonna put my apples. Can you see? There you go, you can see. And I'm gonna put my apples on here as well. I should have scooched those over a bit. I'm gonna scooch them over. Scooch. Scooch, I tell you. I need room for the apple. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. And then we have one to eat. You stuff them, cut them up very thinly for a stir fry. Okay. Nobody else uses a pork loin? All right. I am going to put just a little bit of salt on the onions. Only because that makes them, you know, kind of, they like it. Okay, so here's our onions. We're just going to soften them a little bit. Our apples are on here. Our pork chops really only need 2 minutes on each side. I mean, really, that's it. Okay, let me get this. There you go. Wonka, 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 right? It is good. Hey, Anne-Marie, good to see you. All right, let me check. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. All right, because again, these are so thin, really 2 minutes on each side, and that's it. All right, so I'm gonna give this one, oh, look at that. Look, oh, it's drippy, sorry. I'm gonna give that a toss. I have this glove on still. Don't ask me why. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and flip my apples. Whoops. They've got a nice, pretty little char and the little grill marks. And really it's just softening them up. You've done in the slow cooker with a pork loin. Linda Sue, what did you put in it with it? All right, I've turned. My apples have been turned. My onions have been tossed. And my pork chops need another minute. Okay, while that's going on, we gotta make a sauce. I'm taking this off. Get you a little saucepan. You're gonna chuckle. What did Bobby Brady say? Pork chops and applesauce. And so we need a sauce. So we're gonna use about a cup or a half of a cup. You don't really need a whole cup. Half of a cup of applesauce. And I'm gonna use my barbecue sauce again. And I'm gonna put about a half of a cup of barbecue sauce. All right? And to that, because I can't just leave well enough alone, horseradish sauce. This is that Polish horseradish sauce. Oh my. Oh my. And I'm gonna put a big old tablespoon in there. Look at that. Because I can. All right, we're gonna put this on the stove and heat that up. I am gonna give it a little, take your whisk, and there we go. Look at that. Onion, pretty simple, but now, yeah, there you go. All right, so we're heating that up. All right, it's time to take our stuff off the grill. That quick. Your kitchen, do what make, that's right. Garlic, lemon seasoning, shred over, pull apart. Yes, those are good actions too. All right, here's my little dish that I'm serving. Isn't that pretty? The pattern is called Moonlight. Isn't that pretty? All right, so there's my dish. Let me check that the pork chops are done. Why, yes, they are. Look how pretty. Ooh, look how pretty. All right, so the pork is going on my platter. I'm gonna turn that off. Pork on the platter. Pork on the platter. Hey, Peggy. I know. Well, and when I type up the recipe, I put amounts. Because there are some people, I have a friend, Eva Marie, and she, okay, now we're gonna put our apples on here. She is like, you know, some people have engineer minds, right? And engineer minds really need exact measurements. And I understand that, that's fine. And so I do type up the recipes, and that one kind of fell apart. And then, oh, here, there's the other half. And so I do that, right? I do put measurements on there. I'm just gonna drizzle the onions on top of there. Oh, look how pretty. Yum, yum. Okay, so there's this. It's always hard for me, hold on, to get everything off. I don't know, I know that I shouldn't whine because you guys are in cold, and so those of you who have arthritis and live in Michigan or Illinois or wherever it is you live, you're freezing to death, and I'm in 70-degree weather. So you're probably rolling your eyes at me going, oh yeah, we feel bad for you. I know you don't. But that being said, my arthritis was killing me last night and this morning. You know what happens is in my toes and my fingers, in my joints, it feels like it's burning inside and itching at the same time. That's what it is. And it's like, ugh. Anyway, all right, this has boiled. In that short amount of time, we took our cup to a half a cup of applesauce, a half a cup of barbecue sauce, and some horseradish. And we have, look at that. Oh my, Cindy. Now let's see. Let's see how good I am. The answer is probably not very, but, so I have just a little pitcher. Here we go. Oh, is she gonna make it? Oh, she's gonna make it. I say that, then I'll spill it. Come on. Let's get every last little tiny bit of the sauce in our little container. All right, there we go. Look, empty. Set that aside. Look at that. Okay? And now we have our sauce. Your hands are okay, it's your feet. Yeah. All right, and so here's our meal. Look at this. You can either serve it like this and allow everybody to, is horseradish spicy? Never tried it. It can be. And so if you don't like really spicy things, you could leave it out. I just wanted a little kick in this. And this is this Polish horseradish that my friend Rebecca's been selling, and so I've been eating it on everything. So you can eat it just like this, or you can take, look at this. Oh, look at that sauce. Look. And we can drizzle it all over our pork. Yum. Okay, look at that. Dish number 2, and if they need extra sauce, it's right there. Dish number 2 done. How fast was that? Hey, Sandra, you've missed 2 deals already, 2 meals. All right, I'm gonna set this aside. Hold on. Whoo! Are you tired? I'm tired. Now I have to get rid of this, and this is very hot, so you got to be careful. So I'm gonna get the mittens. I'm getting the mittens. What's in the sauce? The sauce was applesauce, like a half a cup to a cup of applesauce, and a half a cup of barbecue sauce, and a big whomping tablespoon of horseradish. You can do a little tiny bit of horseradish, or you can do no horseradish at all. Totally up to you. Okay, what am I doing with this? Let me see if I can set it over here. Okay, let's just hope my cabinet doesn't go bazonkers. All right, wonka. Let's hit number 3. All right, number 3. I don't own a wok. I know that you guys are going, what? She doesn't own a wok, but I do not. No, I don't own a wok. And so this would be a great dish to do in a wok. And yet, I don't have one. But I do have this very large skillet. Okay? Very large skillet. And so that's what I'm going to use. Very large skillet. Okay? We don't need the lid though. All right, we have 1/3 of our pork left. Remember, we had a big pork loin. The first one, we cut it in thirds. The first third, we put in a baking dish, a little salt and pepper, onions on the bottom. Then we made a sauce of a can of peaches that we pureed, mixed with barbecue sauce, poured that on the top, put the lid on, oven 350, 45 minutes to an hour, okay? Boom, dish 1. The second third of the pork loin, we sliced into thin pork chops, we little salt and pepper, put them on the grill, did onions and apples, right? Sliced apples on the grill. How far in advance do you think about what you'll be making? Usually the night before, Lydia. I open the freezer and the cabinet and the refrigerator and I see what I have. That's how far in advance I go. And now we've got the last third, all right? Oh, and we made our sauce out of applesauce, barbecue sauce, and horseradish. Yum. All right, so here is our last third, Now, again, I'm gonna use the serrated knife. For this, if you wanna cut the fat off, you certainly can, because we're gonna be doing a stir fry. My suggestion is twofold. If you cut this fat off, and again, this is probably a Southern thing, I don't know. Well, this knife is not working great. I must need to sharpen it. Maybe a Southern thing, but I would say if you cut this fat off, either save it and fry it up, oh yeah, or you can save it, and when you're making your stock, you can put that in there and so it'll flavor your stock. Wholly up to you what you want to do with the fat. A little fat never hurt anybody. Okay, so here's our last third. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in slices. And like somebody said, I can't remember who did it, it really is easier to cut a pork loin when it's still a little frozen. Because when it's defrosted, it is a little difficult to cut up. All right, so now I've got 4 pork chops basically, but I'm gonna cut these into little chunks. Chunks, I tell you. Now you could do, somebody said they do a pork stir fry with long strips. And you could do that too. So you could cut them, see, like this. You could use them that way, all right? So that's an option for you if you just want to stop at that. I'm going to go ahead and dice it up. Why? Why, Cindy? Why do you want to add more work for yourself? The big dog that's a Siberian Husky German Shepherd mix is eyeing the pork chops. I'm just saying, eyeing the pork chops. All right, so here we go. Let me cut up the last one this way. So I have long strips. Obviously, you can stop right there. Otherwise, I'm gonna dice them. And like I said, for me, it's the perfect bite. But it also makes it stretch a little further. Funny, a little fat never hurt anyone. That's what I tell myself. You're craving a BLT? What does that have to do with what we're making, Joanne, silly girl? Anyway, if you're trying to make your dollar stretch, a stir fry is really good. And when you cut your meat up in smaller pieces, you actually, and add more veggies and more things like that, you actually can feed more of your family or more people, right? For less amount. Meat is usually your most expensive part of the meal, right? And as I showed you the price tag on the package of pork loin, I got this whole pork loin for $5 and I think 29 cents. And that means I'm getting 3 meals and can serve a lot of people, really. I mean, I got 6 pork chops. I have that big pork loin. Okay, here we go. That's that. Ugh, now I have meat hands. Gross, gross, gross. All right, we have our skillet. I'm gonna put just a little oil, and I'm just gonna use canola oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you want. The only kind of oil I would not suggest is olive oil. Olive oil is really not good to saute with. It really is not. Okay, we're gonna let this heat up. And while that's cooking, while that's heating up, I gotta move this a bit. I have a pot. I'm gonna cheat. It's hangry, I know. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna make instant rice. I know, but it's easy and it's quick and it's a show, right? Bacon grease would be much better, yes. But I didn't have any of that. So, 2 cups of instant rice in my pot. Isn't that pretty? I love the ruffly bowls. Don't you like the ruffly bowls? 2 cups, and then any instant rice you want to use, or you can make real rice. This is one of the things of veggie stock that I made out of my scraps. Remember, we made scrap stock. Oh, so good. It smells delightful. This calls for 2 cups of water, but instead of 2 cups of water, I'm using, it's exactly 2 cups of stock. So you could do that. And I'm doing it because I'm using instant rice. And because I'm using instant rice, I want to jazz it up just a little bit. Because you and I both know that long grain rice, you know, well, rice cooked for 20 minutes is better than instant rice. But there you go. All right, I'm going to put this on to boil. I'll put it back here. I'm going to bring that to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to put the lid on. Okay, our oil for this is heated. So now I'm going to take my, let me see. I'm just going to pick, I have too much stuff. First, I'm going to season it with salt and pepper. Look at this, right here on the cutting board. A little salt, a little pepper. There we go. Ta and da. Hey, Janet. Oh, good, because you've already missed 2 recipes. All right, so Here's the third half of our pork loin. We've just diced it up, and in the skillet it's going. Or if you have a wok. Okay, in the skillet it has gone. Okay. Now what are we gonna add to that? Because we need filler, right? So here's what we've got. These are the couple of things that I have. If you want some additional onion in there, you certainly could do that. I'm doing celery. This is 2 stalks of celery. Now look what I did. I cut it, well, I probably should have stringed that one, but you see how I cut it on an angle so that it looks more, ooh, you're making an Asian dish and not just regular old, but you can just, however you want, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and put the celery in there. I've got some green onions. Ooh, I'm gonna put some green onions in there. And then cabbage. This is cabbage. They didn't have a bag for me to be lazy. And so this is an entire head of cabbage that has been shredded. We don't need a whole head of cabbage. And I'm gonna put this in last because it doesn't need very long, okay? Let's give this a stir. Yum, yum, yum. The other thing I'm gonna put in, and you don't have to, would the meat be tough or would you suggest putting in a pressure cooker first? I don't ever have a problem with it, Lydia, and especially since I've cut it so small. In the freezer, I had some leftover edamame, frozen edamame. You guys know what that is, soybeans, right? If you don't have that, it's just a nice little extra added. These are frozen still, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick them in here. Just because, oh, we'll just add them all. Just dump the whole thing in. Again, I'm bulking this up because for that little bit of meat, a third of a pork loin, we're gonna have a big meal, okay? All right, our pork is cooking. The outside is getting brown. I'm gonna wait on this. I have to show you. When I did the apple, remember I cut the apple, I cored it? This is my corer. I hate this thing. Do you have one of these? I hate this because it cores really well. But then trying to get that out of there, because you know, this is really sharp, and then you're trying to push it all the way through. I just never get it out well. It's like, but it doesn't come out. Do you have one of these? Do you hate this? I hate this thing. I don't know why, but there you go. All right. Okay, so our pork loin with peaches and barbecue is in the oven. Our pork chops with grilled apples and onions with our applesauce barbecue on top is over there. Done. Into the wooden spoon. Oh, into the wooden spoon. Nope, it's not going. You know what? Maybe if I took the knife, there's a little cut space there. Maybe if I did that. Maybe I'll cut myself. Okay, that doesn't work. That doesn't, I hate these things. Oh, it worked. I got it out. Yay. My dogs are going crazy. Your corer has a paddle. Oh, that would be nice, Beverly. That would. Small spoon, baby bottle cleaning brush. Well, I don't have any baby bottle cleaning brushes. But you're right. But I got it out. Look at that. Ta and da. Okay, giving it another stir. Our pork's almost done. How cool is that? It is healthy and yummy, right? Now, if you didn't want to make instant rice with stock, you can make regular rice. You can make brown rice. If you don't want rice, this dish has enough stuff in it that you don't even have to put it over rice. But my family would get a little yah-yah if there was no rice. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put in some of my slaw, my cabbage. I'm not gonna put a ton in just because it doesn't need a ton. So 2 handfuls looks good to me. 2 handfuls is about a cup, half a cup. All right? Now I'm gonna give that a stir. Now you notice that I did salt and pepper the pork, but when I added the celery and the onions and the edamame and even now the cabbage, I did not add any salt. And you may be going, but Cindy, you always do. And I do. However, we're adding, oh, you know what? I am gonna put a little bit of garlic in there. Let me get just a smidge of garlic. You can smash it up if you want. Whole doesn't bother me. This is the roasted garlic. If you don't have roasted garlic, why don't you have roasted garlic? Can you put other veggies in like frozen broccoli? Yes, you can. You certainly can. Recipes with brown and white rice. Or cauliflower rice, you could. I hate brown rice. Ugh. Okay. All right, almost done. Here's the reason I didn't add salt. I'm not adding soy sauce, but I am adding a pre-done teriyaki sauce, okay? All right, here we go. How much, you say? I suppose I should measure. Hold on. 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons. That's what I want. 3 tablespoons of teriyaki sauce. All right, let's give it a stir. Our rice is almost done. Come on, rice. Put the lid on it. Oh, can you smell it? Can you smell it? We need smell-o-vision. We do, we do, we do. Okay. We're gonna have to wait just a second because my rice is not done. All right, I'm gonna turn this down just a bit and let that cook. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna end it with. We're gonna end it with sesame seeds, because I like it. I've got a little bit of green onion left. And I chopped up some peanuts. Now, if you have a peanut allergy, obviously skip this step. You don't want to put peanuts if you don't like peanuts or you don't have peanuts. And quite frankly, they're just, you know, plain old dry roasted peanuts. Nothing special, just peanuts. You can put them in your food processor or you can just take your knife and run it through there and chop them up. There's about, I don't know, half a cup there. Not a whole lot. It's a garnish, but it also gives it a crunch, and so it gives you that other layer, right? Yeah. Okay, now I forgot. I'm gonna set this aside 1 second. I gotta show you something while the rice is cooking. Do you remember when I took my Polish pottery and I planted microgreens in it? Remember this? Ta-da! Look, microgreens. Remember I just put all those little seeds in there and they've grown. You just water them. They weren't even outside. They were just in the house. Microgreens. Now this is a zesty blend of microgreens, which I love. So good, right? Because it's got a little zing. But they have broccoli microgreens. They have, you know, kind of a lettuce mix kind of microgreens. I always use them on avocado toast, you know, things like that. So just to spruce up, because, you know, our pork chops and make it a little pretty and add a little flavor, I'm going to take a handful of microgreens. And this is the cool thing about it. You just take your scissors and you cut, right? And ta and da, look at that, I have microgreens. That's it. And so I'm gonna take those microgreens and I'm gonna sprinkle those on top. Not only does it make it look pretty, but it gives you a very fresh flavor. Now you don't have microgreens, that's fine. You could put a little parsley, a little cilantro, or nothing at all. But I wanted to show you my microgreens. There you go. Most stores have stir-fry veggies in the frozen food section. Yes, you could just buy a bag of frozen stir-fry vegetables and not do all this slicing and dicing. That would be fine. Okay, let me check my rice. I need a different one. We're almost there on the rice. I'm not eating that rice unless it's done, okay? I'm gonna give you a look-see at our stir-fry. It's pretty much all green. Look at that. The pork, the teriyaki, we have celery, we have green onions, we have cabbage, and we have edamame. Pretty, a little garlic in there too. Like I said, you could have put an onion in there. If you didn't want to slice and dice and chop, you could just buy a bag of frozen. You certainly could do that. Okay, I need Jess here just a second, because you know what we're going to do? We're going to taste. We're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to taste the little edge here. Would you get me a knife and fork? And then we're gonna taste. You almost gave up on pork loin, but see, I wanted to give you some ideas, especially like I said, if you're by yourself or that you're only cooking for two, it's a lot. Okay, I know this is the serving platter. Could be my dinner platter. You never know. All right, I'm gonna make sure I get a piece of onion, a piece of apple, and some microgreens. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. I can't see where the pork chop is. I'm like, come here, baby, come here. All right, so there we go. Can you see on there that I have an onion, that I have the pork chop, that I have the apple, and a little microgreen? Ready? That sauce is delightful. You need to keep the sauce. Yum. Very good. Yummy. All right. Here's the next tray. I'm going to make some room so that I can get all this going. All right, look at this. This is a long tray. You like this? Anybody have one of these? And you think the only thing you can use this for is crackers, right? Cheese and crackers. This is what you think of when you look at this long thing. Kind of like that cake box. That's not what you think about cooking in it, but we're going to. So here's this long, long tray, which is fine. Let me check my rice. Hello, rice. Let me give a taste. Fork. There we go. Hot. Oh, hot. Done. Okay. So here we go. We're turning everything off. Look, here's our long tray. See our long tray? I'm going to put it like this so you can see. I'm going to put the rice down the long tray. La, la, la. Look how pretty. Yum. We do eat with our eyes, and I know that it is very easy. That's my pattern, Blue Poppy. Love that tray. You need my address? Debbie, that's funny. I have all Blue Poppy in my bathroom. Everything in my bathroom is Blue Poppy. All right, so I'm going to spread this out just to make sure we have rice all the way down. There we go. I got rice flying everywhere. I'm going to take, what am I going to take? I'm trying to figure out which spoon I want. Maybe I'll just use this one. Okay. Oof. It's so heavy. All right. Look at this. And then we're going to spoon this all the way down our rice. We eat with our eyes, we do. And I know that it is so easy to make dinner, leave it in the pot, and just have everybody fix their plate, right? Because that's easy and it requires that we don't have to cook or wash yet another dish. But you know what? Maybe since we do eat with our eyes, maybe this tells our brain, hey, that looks good. Let's dig in, right? Okay, I'm gonna pour some of that juice on there, all that juice on there. Get some more on there. See how much this made? I know you could feed a family of 6 with this. Maybe 8, I don't know, it depends. If you have boys, probably not, but there we go. Okay, there's that. To finish it off, look how pretty. This tray goes on my toilet tank. No, this doesn't go in there, but all the other stuff in my bathroom is Blue Poppy. All right, so look how much that is. Now we're gonna finish it off. We're gonna do just a few green onions on the top because you want a little bit of fresh, right? A little bit of crunch, a little bit of bite. We're gonna get our peanuts. Look at that. Mmm, yum. Of course, if you have a peanut allergy, don't do this part, right? Little peanuts. If you don't want to add it all along, you could certainly just have a dish and people could add. And then the last thing is sesame seeds. I don't know why, but for me, it's a thing. I love putting sesame seeds on my stir fries. These are white sesame seeds, but they have a mixture of sesame seeds you could put on. So probably a teaspoon or a tablespoon. It's really that last taste and yum right there. Okay, are you looking? Are you all excited? Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna get closer so you can see. Can you see? Oh, look. Rice, pork. Look at that. Look how many meals we got. All right, we have to taste. Hold on. Hold on. I got to get a piece of meat. I got to get, you know me, perfect little bite. Where's the celery? Wait, I want peanut. Let me put a little peanut on there. Okay, ready? Here we go. Mmm. 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 The meat is tender. It's got a great teriyaki flavor. The vegetables make it really fresh. The rice is not just plain old rice because we zipped it up with some veggie stock. Mmm. There's a nice crunch. It feels fresh, even though it's a hot dish. So it feels like you're making, you know, like you would be eating like a salad, that fresh flavor. Mmm. But it's a great meal. So, now I'm sorry that I can't show you the oven thing because it still has to cook. But we started out with a big pork loin that was 3.5 pounds. The original price was $13.21. I got it on sale for $5.59. There we go, $5.59. We cut it into thirds. The first third went in the oven on a bed of onions, salt and pepper, and then we made our sauce with a can of peaches that we pureed and mixed with barbecue sauce and poured over that. We put a lid on it. You could cover it with foil, 350 degrees, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how big the one you put in, right? The second one we did, we took the second third of the pork loin and cut it into thin pork chops. We put it on our grill. We sliced up some apples very thin and some onions very thin. We grilled all of that, just some salt and pepper, put that on our tray. And then we made a sauce out of applesauce because it's pork chops and applesauce. Applesauce, barbecue sauce, and a little bit of horseradish. We heated that on the oven, brought it to a boil, poured it on top, but then we've got our little container to always use on the side. And then finally, we used our last third of the pork and we cut it into chunks, little diced pieces, and we made this gorgeous stir fry. Is that beautiful? Gorgeous stir fry. 3 huge meals, $5.59 for the meat. That's an awesome deal. I hope you had fun today. Did you have fun today? Tell me you had fun. Tell me that you've got some new ideas for that pork loin that's on sale. If you know somebody who needs some ideas, make sure you share our video with them. I hope you had a lovely day. From my kitchen to yours, may everything you make be quick, easy, and yummy. We'll see you on Saturday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.